Lads, welcome back to another video. So today I'll be removing the starter motor out of my Corsa and fitting a Astra starter motor, which technically doesn't actually fit, but I'll find that out later. And also a little warning, this job is not the easiest of jobs. It's horrendous to record, so I do apologise for that. And yeah, so please enjoy. And we finally hit 1,000 subscribers. Alright, enjoy. See you in a bit.
To begin with, we're going to jack up the car so you can support it on the subframe over here. So you have space to put the axle stand. So now the car is really high off the ground. It means you can get plenty of access to the bottom of or the back of the engine so that we can get the starter motor. So the starter motor is just there and it's got multiple bolts. You can see that bolt what holds it on, it also holds the strut wiring to it, and there's more wiring on the top side. So I invested in a little DeWalt toolbox, but I've got a few goodies in there that you may like in some future videos. Nice two little impacts in there. Starter motor is actually orientated like this, so that bolt down here is what you can see, which has a wire going through it. So we're going to place it in the way we remove it, so like this, so that when we take the old one out we know where stuff goes. Always we want to remove the battery cable. This one you definitely need to remove because it'd be sparking away when you remove the starter motor. So you remove it with a 10mm. So I just put it to the side like that. So for removal and installation, we're going to need 13mm socket to get them all loose. There's this little interesting little bolt here which actually has a nut on it too. So we're going to need a spanner as well, potentially for that. So we're using a 13mm deep socket. So there's not a great amount of room. Sometimes easier just to whack the socket on too and use that as a little bit of leverage. These little indentations really do help. It's a shame you can't get any power tools under here, but you've got the wiring for the O2 sensor just there, so you really can't. But to be honest, this is the easiest one to get to as well, so it's not great. Actually have decided to go into the tasty toolbox. Here's where my beast is, my new beast there. That'll be coming up in a future video. Anyway, we'll use this one for now. So as you can see, it's pretty awkward to fit in, but we're gonna get it with the impact instead. Now we've got that one removed, we want to remove the wires off the back of the starter. So an answer to the question about it being easier, yeah, it's much easier, look. And that's it loose now. Now, let's remove that guy off here. We'll give this a cleaning up on the harness. And now, just need to remove the wiring connector from before, which is incredibly difficult to get to. There we go, got him off there. The way I managed to grip onto it is extension bar with a deep 13mm, as you can see there, and it's parallel to that on the other side. As to not want to snap this wire, I've just unplugged it from there, off the alternator, and you can see on the extension bar, if you keep it nice and tight, it does actually come off fairly easily. And there's like little to room against that wire there, so you definitely need to make sure you've got the battery disconnected. The bolt is there, and if you just see it there, and that's where you are. So I managed to get the impact in there. We may be able to just get it loose, maybe. We've got that double bolt removed from there, which I originally missed. It should come out. So we also want to remove this wire
it's a 10mm, and this needs a bit of a cleaning up, to be perfectly honest with you. Wow. Well, that loosens off easily. So now we've got the wire just up there, the 10mm. You may need to pry the starter motors off because they can be a bit stuck in there. Mine was incredibly tight. I was literally using all my strength, but you can get a little persuasion bar, you get it in that gap and just push it like that, and the starter becomes nice and free. I did even try and use a hammer, but now your starter's free. You just want to carefully, well, take it out, watch your eyes, and here we go. There's the starter removed. We got it out, that's the old one. And now you want to compare the two to make sure they're identical inside, and even the splines need to be the same. Also, back under the car, you want to inspect the flywheel, because this is your perfect opportunity. Just realised that there's actually an inspection hole here, so if you remove this cap like that, you can actually inspect the flywheel down here too. So when you have it in place like that, you want to make sure it sits nicely flush to the actual block, because if it doesn't, it's not going to work properly and it's just not going to tighten correctly when you torque it down. So make sure. And the Astra one is a little bit longer and the actual housing's a little bit different, so it may not work correctly. So to start with, we're going to put the weird double-ended one on. So 13mm again, and you want to put the long side in first. So we've put that one up. You only want to do it finger tight because you want to make sure you put the other bolt in first, and then we can put the wire on there and then put the bolt over the top of that. So to be honest, I'll just get going with this because it's extremely hard to record. I'll get back to you for the outro. So to make the bolt stay a bit better in the socket, I've just, well, it's thin in that much, I've just wrapped a bit of tape on the top of it, then you just ram it in the end of the 13mm. It's just so it doesn't pop off the bolt when you're trying to fix it in on the top bolt, which is extremely irritating to get in. So I'm going to try and get it in now and finish the job. To finish it off, I've got some new Corsa mats what will fit in, and replace these horrendous, ugly rubber ones. And to be honest, they've worn out because I must be fairly heavy-footed. As you can see, they're pretty dirty, but I'm not going to clean them because I'm fixing these in. So yeah, let's swap them over. That concludes this video. It was absolute nightmare of a job, and getting that top bolt in on the starter was horrendous. The only way I managed to get it was from the top of the engine bay, going right across, one hand on one side, one hand on the other, and this hand does barely fit in it. And I got like 2 turns and then managed to nip it up from the bottom. So ain't a great job, to be honest with you. Make sure you diagnose whether it's the starter correctly. I'm not saying I haven't, I'm just saying I just did the video for you, and to save you the stress of doing it, make sure it's the starter motor. So also, I'd like to thank you all for all the support recently, and we're finally able to monetize YouTube videos, or the videos. So basically it means I'll get a little bit of return back, and it means more videos, more exciting content on the Corsa, and yeah, it's just great. So thank you guys, it's absolutely brilliant. See you soon. Goodbye.